Oh, hello. Today it is haul time, so I've got a bunch of exciting books to show you, some of which were sent to me, some of which I procured. I have some very exciting entries into my collection, but before we get to books, I did want to mention that I got this sweatshirt, which I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says "Stay home and read a romance novel." And it has a cover with people wearing masks, which I love. And I got this from the Ripped Bodice, which is great. And just a general reminder that we are hitting the holiday season for a lot of small businesses. So now is a better time than ever to support your local bookstores if you are able to do that. I know they will be very appreciative. I've seen a lot of postings from not just bookstores, but a lot of small businesses kind of saying like, hey guys, this has been a really hard year and we really need people to shop early and make it a point to support us. So if you are able to do that and you have, local bookstore or local small businesses that you are excited to support, I definitely encourage you to think about your holiday shopping early and to make sure you give them enough time to get you whatever goods you were trying to get. So anyway, I absolutely love this shirt. I think it's so cute and it is my, souvenir from the year of the plague, I guess, maybe. We'll go with that. Okay, anyway, all that being said, let's start maybe with books that I received as gifts or in PR. So I did get 2 books this month as gifts from my sweet friend Bethany. It has been hard times health-wise for me this year, but particularly the last little bit. And she has been very supportive as I've been kind of processing through all of that. So to send me a little pick-me-up, she sent me a couple of romance novels that she enjoyed from authors she loves. So first is Mangoes and Mistletoe from Adriana Herrera, who is an author that I have not yet read from, but this is a Christmas novella, and we are hitting the right time of year where I enjoy tucking in with some holiday romance. So I will look forward to this. I also believe it's female. Yeah, this is a queer romance as well, which is exciting. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, maybe this will be our We Need Diverse Romance pick for December. And then the other one she sent me was My Fake Rake by Eva Lee. And actually, I was somewhat surprised she didn't pick this for the TBR swap we did because I know how much she enjoyed this historical romance. I think it has an element where the heroine is a dom and the hero is a sub, which is pretty unusual in a romance, so that should be fun. And yeah, I know she really enjoyed this one. So anyway, very thoughtful of her, very sweet, and I appreciate the love and support of all of my friends during an unfortunate year so far on the health front for me at least. So that was a gift. And then I did get a few books in PR this month. So first I got A Solitude of Wolverine by Alice Henderson, a novel of suspense. So I believe that what this book is about is that scientist who is out in the wilds studying wolverines and murder happens and she may be the next victim because she knows too much. It says, alone in the wilderness, she's fit for survival. Against a human predator, will she stay alive? So I think if you're looking for like action adventure-y, maybe kind of thriller suspense type read, this could be a good pick. And then this is a historical mystery called Death and the Maiden by Ariana Franklin and Samantha Norman. And actually this is the final historical mystery series called The Mistress of the Art of Death. And let's see here, this is in medieval England, 1191. And our protagonist, I believe, is retired, but she used to be like, she's called the vaunted mistress of the art of death. And I am surmising she's some sort of like poisonist / like forensic scientist, but in medieval England, which sounds pretty cool. And I think that she is retired, but in the village where she is retired at, girls start going missing, and it seems like there might be a serial killer. So that sounds actually pretty fun. So this was not on my radar, but actually I'm kind of into this. It said that it could be read as a standalone, so I'm gonna put this up on the docket the next time I'm in the mood for historical mystery. But thank you to William Morrow for sending me both of these, 2 different flavors of mystery. And then I got this really fun PR package that I was not expecting, but in celebration of the new adaptation of Rebecca that Netflix has put out. And if you watch me, you know that I like the book, but because I watched the Alfred Hitchcock classic movie before I read the book, I like the classic movie version of it even better than the book. But all around, it's a great story. And actually, this is like the fall / Halloween, etc. is a great time of year for this book. But they sent me this really fun PR package for reasons unknown, but I appreciated that. And it had a bunch of cool Rebecca swag in it. So they had a fancy hanky, really nice like blank cardstock note things, some fancy caramels, some really lovely smelling bath salts that are actually pretty great. I don't even know, what is this? Ingredients: sea salt, rose petals, okay, an essential oil blend. Well, the rose petals and whatever this essential oil blend smell absolutely lovely. A fancy pen that says Rebecca on it. And then of course the coup de grace is a tie-in copy of the book Rebecca. So I have a nice hardback edition of Rebecca because I do already enjoy this book, but this is actually like a pretty nice, like sometimes you know how movie tie-in copies are like really obnoxious. I actually think this is like a quite artfully done one. So like kudos to you, Netflix, for taking the note that everybody hates it when it's just like the poster, like with the glossy finish. Everybody hates that. So this is actually like a really nice copy of this. And I like the spine. This is beautiful. So anyway, I appreciate them sending this along to me. This is out already. The adaptation is on Netflix. It's got Armie Hammer and who is it? Lily James. That's the other main lead. So check that out on Netflix. And I appreciate them randomly sending me a very lovely, well put together PR package for it. Maybe we'll move into a few random books I picked up. So first, I hadn't realized that Roxane Gay had released either this year or last year a graphic novel that is not in the Black Panther graphic novel series that she's working on. I'm not that big into superheroes, so I haven't been following that, but I wanted to see kind of like what she does in this form. She also just released another graphic novel like here in the last couple of weeks that I'm interested in reading, but I think this is something like a family of bank robbers, maybe? It's giving me kind of like 70s vibes just from the art style, so I don't know. I'm into this. I'm excited to tuck into this at some point. Then, if you didn't see, I had a live show with one of my very best friends, Jolene, a few weeks ago, where we did a book club on The Sherwood Ring by Elizabeth Marie Pope. The other book from Elizabeth Marie Pope, Perilous Guard, is one of my all-time favorite books, but this one was also like super quirky and fun. Like I really enjoyed it and we had a lot of fun talking about it. So shout out to Jo. Thank you for doing that with me. I had a good time. But if you're looking, this has got a lot of fall vibes. It's a classic YA novel that is historical fiction with a supernatural element incorporated into it. So yeah, I thought that this was really fun. So I got this for that little book club event. And then I also picked up The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware because I really enjoyed One by One last month from her. The One by One was an isolated closed circle mystery, and I believe that this is another variant on that trope that she has written, and I'm intrigued. I have heard very polarized opinions about this, so I'm excited to read it and find out what I think, being somebody who really just loves this trope a lot. We'll see kind of where that lands. I don't know, wish me luck. And then, much like September, October was a very heavy month for releases that I was excited about. And actually, I've read several of these already, so maybe we'll start, actually, of these 6, I've read 5 of them already. So there you go. So first, I picked up a copy of Crazy Stupid Bromance. I had already read this in e-form and really enjoyed, especially the romance itself in this book, I think is really great. There's some other side plots happening that I wasn't as into, or like, it's not that I wasn't into them, I just felt like there was too much. Like there was too much heaped into this one book. But I still very, very much enjoyed it. And frankly, this cover is just the cutest. So I felt like I kind of really wanted to have a copy of it. So I enjoyed getting to this one. I picked up my copy of Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade, which is one of my favorite romances of the year, which is geeky fandom, celebrity, and fan romance, plus size romance, and just all around, this feels like a very modern version of a romance, and I appreciated that. It's also pretty steamy in some places, so if that does it for you, there you go. My favorite read of the year so far came out in October, and I was so excited to get my physical copy of it because this cover is just so beautiful. This is gorgeous. I absolutely love this. Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Favorite read of the year. Epic fantasy with pre-Columbian South American cultures as the basis for the magic that it kind of puts together. And it's just, I have zero complaints about this book. It is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, favorite read of the year so far. So there's that. And then In the Study with the Wrench is the second book in a trilogy that Diana Peterfriend is doing based on the property Clue, or in the UK, I think it's Cluedo, that board game. So these are The first one was definitely an isolated closed circle mystery. This isn't really, but it is like a YA boarding school mystery. So if that is your thing, I think you'll still be happy continuing in this series. I was pleased to see where it's going, and I'm excited for the finale next year. So yeah, I was excited to get my hands on this, and I'm gonna get a physical copy of the third one as well and have the whole little trilogy there together. Oh, and actually I just realized this was a new release this year, but it didn't come out this month. I did read it though. So Skincare from Carolyn Hirons. I've been somewhat based on some of the health issues I've been having more issues with my skin lately than I normally have been. So I've been doing a lot of remembering all the things I used to do when I was having skin problems with my skincare routine. And I just really like Carolyn Hirons. I don't 100% align with her philosophy, but I think she has a lot of like really good, just like kind of base information that's very helpful. So if you're looking for a good reference, I think that this is, I really enjoy this, and I'm excited to have a good sort of go-to reference without having to Google stuff. Also, her rundown of brands in the back is honestly like worth the price of this book because it's so gossipy, and I kind of loved it. That was my favorite part of the book, was her just giving like 3 sentences about a bunch of different brands, and she spills the tea. So I enjoyed that. Anyway, picked this up and read it and enjoyed it. And then the last new release I picked up was the 5th volume of Monstrous, which is called War Child. I absolutely love the Monstrous series. This is a great graphic novel fantasy series that's like, it's just like weird, which I enjoy, and the art, I'm trying to find like a good example of how gorgeous this artwork is. Like, come on. It is so beautiful just to put your eyeballs on, and I enjoy that, as well as the crazy ass story that's going on. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. And then finally, I have 3 additions to my collection. And I'm very excited because there was a new, well, really kind of 2 new Penguin Clothbound Classics releases this month, but it's a little weird. So anyway, I've got 2 new entries to my Penguin Clothbound Classics collection that I'm going to show you. But first, I did finish getting the last of the Barsetshire series from Anthony Trollope in this edition. So these are lovely, I guess, maybe kind of cloth-bound hardbacks. They're like the hardbacks that don't have, that like are purposely without a cover and have a design on them. So cloth-bound adjacent, doesn't feel like cloth, whatever. I've been collecting these kind of one at a time slowly, and this is the last of them. So I have the whole series. I've read the first one, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with the rest. So glad to have this. Then okay, this is a Penguin, let's say all the adjectives that apply to this. This is a Penguin classic. It is cloth bound, and the cover design is indeed by Coralie Bickford-Smith, because that's where I saw this posted, like she did this, but it is not the same size as the other Penguin Clothbound Classics. So I don't think it's technically in the line, even though it shares most of the characteristics with it. But I was interested in this regardless because this is a collection of short stories from the golden age of British short stories, 1890 to 1914, which is a period of British literature I very much enjoy, and I love short stories. So I am absolutely delighted to have an edition collecting some of the best from that period. And just look how beautiful this gold foiling effect is. It's absolutely lovely to look at. So I thought it was actually in the collection, but it's not. If you're wondering, it's not, I don't think, meant to be, even though it looks like a duck and walks like a duck. It's a gigantic duck, so it's not quite a duck. But what is absolutely a duck is the actual entry that I got this month in that line, which is Grim Tales for Young and Old by Philip Pullman. So this is Philip Pullman's translation / edition of Grim Tales, and I love this. It is absolutely beautiful. You can kind of see on camera, but in person it's even more beautiful. This like bright candy green, like almost like neon green, is just such a fun, like it just looks so cool with the existing colors. Actually, all of the editions that are coming out here in the next few months have like really bright, vibrant colors to them, which I think is going to be a nice mix into the existing line. And I think this is absolutely beautiful, and I'm always so excited when new ones come out. I pre-order them and kind of forget that they're coming until they show up, and it's always just like such a delight. That is the latest entry into that collection, and it is always a delightful day indeed when I get to add to it. So highlight of this month for sure. So yeah, I think that will do it for this haul. I actually had a lot more to get through than I thought. Let me know what you thought of any of the books that I covered. Let me know any exciting new books that have come into your collection recently. And yeah, I think that will do it for now. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below. I hope you are having an absolutely lovely day today, and I will just talk to you soon. Bye.